Home Media.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. I'm your host, Ricky Chabruggy, and as always, joining me is Derek. How you doing down there in Arizona?
Pretty good, man. Starting a new job this week. Things are going. Monday, I screamed a lot in traffic in my car. It was a bad day. But after that first half of the day of a new job, I'm feeling pretty confident, and things are going good, man. Like my brother's moved over here. I got my whole family here, man. Things are cooking for the Rellifords over here.
Cool. Yeah, it's been windier than heck here. Trying not to get blown away.
I love Kansas, but I don't miss I don't miss the bipolar weather at all.
Yeah, yesterday we had gusts up around 50 mile an hour throughout the day, and then last night after it got dark, it got worse. It got up to about 65 mile an hour gusts. It was just absolutely crazy.
Jeez, man. Yeah, Arizona has perfect weather except for that 4 months when it's like 1,000 degrees outside. But other than that, it's pretty nuts. But it's getting there, man. It's starting to heat up for sure out here. Kelsey knows what that's about.
Yeah, hey Kelsey, how you doing? My dog's at it again already.
That's part of the show, man. Your dog is part of the show.
No.
We got like 45 people watching. Where are you all watching from? What's going on out there? Where are we broadcasting to tonight?
Yeah, let us know. Say hey. Let us know where you're at.
Yeah, let us know what town you're in. This is the part of the show that anywhere you're from. We're guessing a lot of people from Kansas, wherever you're from. Also, if there are any cases that we have not covered in the past, or maybe we've already covered them and it's been a while since we've said anything, this would be the time to let us know in the comments what cases you want us to look into for next week. We can kind of look into them tonight a little bit and let you know what we know about right now. As of right now, definitely let us know where you're watching from, and definitely let us know if there's any cases you want us to look into. We'd love to do it. You got Eudora.
Yeah, Eudora, then Kansas. Southeast Oklahoma.
There we go.
And I saw Greensburg in there somewhere. Greensburg, Kansas. Then just another Kansas. Garden City, Kansas.
Oh, nice. That's my old stomping grounds.
Parsons. I worked today. I was at my brother's this weekend. Yeah, I hear you. I worked yesterday. I was off today, but I had to make a road trip and back home. And
Winter.
I'm tired.
Mount Hope. I like that. What up, Candace?
How you doing? And there's Erica Jade Marie Hassler, Overland Park, over by Kansas City. Another Kansas.
Yeah.
Thank you for trying to help find Mr. Gregg for me. He sadly was found a week ago or so. Yep. I was informed he was located deceased. He was a gentleman from Arkansas.
Which one was the art dealer?
No, that was down Wichita. This was the gentleman that walked away from the hotel down there in Arkansas and said when he was upset, he tended to walk by a creek.
Oh my gosh.
Heather Laporte over in Hayes. I was in Hayes today.
Hayes, Kansas.
Vassar. Yep. I was over
Hayes
there.
Is a wild place, man.
Yep. I took a run over to Hayes this morning for a little bit.
I lived in Hayes for like 6 months, and that was weird. Yep. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Found something in Hayes I hadn't seen in quite a while, and I don't have the box laying up here with me on my desk anymore. I actually found a box of candy cigarettes in a convenience store there. I have not seen those in forever. There's a place called Serve or the Serve, something like that. It's a convenience store. My daughter had me go in there, and we were looking around, and I just happened to run across them. I was like, I have not seen candy cigarettes in forever.
Did you get a pack?
Yeah, I bought a box of them. I haven't chomped on those since I was a kid.
Right.
Yeah, and Kelsey was in Hayes yesterday. Yep, there's Adam. Yep, he's the gentleman. He was found located deceased. And I can't remember. I thought I updated his flyer to located deceased, didn't I? I thought I did.
Well, rest in peace, buddy. I mean, whenever we first showed your picture, I thought you looked like a cool guy.
Actually, no, I have not. I do need to update his to located deceased. I will do it after the show.
I felt like he just looked like a cool guy, a cool regular guy, you know. Rest in peace, buddy.
Got a Peabody, Kansas. Okay, now what? Okay, Rocket Fizz in Arizona has them too. That's cool.
Oh, okay, nice.
What about Colton Barrera over? Yeah, we need to cover Colton Barrera again.
Yeah,
I definitely want to cover him again. He's never far from my thoughts, let me tell you.
I can put that up here right now, actually.
You can get them at filling station in Linwood. My 5, 3, 2-year-olds were so excited. Yeah, I was like, wow, I haven't seen these for a long time. So yeah, I had to buy a box so I could chomp on them. I'm such a kid. I'm a kid trapped in a man's body. What can I say?
I liked candy cigarettes. You blow on it and all the sugar shoots out.
Yeah. Yep.
But then I started smoking real cigarettes. See, it's a trap, Ricky. Don't do it. Don't start those candy cigarettes. Next thing you know, you're buying a pack.
I did smoke actual cigarettes in my early 20s, but I gave them
Did
up.
You?
After about 2 or 3 months, I quit.
I can't see you lighting up one.
I did.
Oh no! Did you cough?
No, I didn't. Well, I did a couple times because I think I inhaled too deep. It like to kill me.
But you didn't like it. Didn't like. Wasn't ever really a thing for you to. You just smoked. No. What made you quit?
I don't know. It just didn't do me any good. I mean, it didn't
fit your.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be a good. I don't like you smoking. I don't like hearing that, man. I don't like hearing that you smoked.
Yeah, I did just briefly. Merit Ultralights.
There we go. Yeah. There we go. That's a real cigarette. Well, we're gonna get into some cases, folks. We do like to play this little clip here. It's my lovely wife.
Have you on the fire for Marissa Kraft? I have actually made one for her. I can definitely reshare it and cover her on the next show. Let's see if I can make any updates to it in between.
Right.
Make my notes here.
All right, we're going to play this little clip for you. When we get back, we're going to cover some cases. Again, sound off in the comments where you're watching from.
How you doing?
And let us know what you want to hear about, what you want us to cover. We'll be right back after this.
If you or someone you know is a victim of human trafficking, call the National Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-888-373-7888.
All right, we're going to start off with Alexis Nicole Jones, and here she is. She's missing from Oneida, Kansas. Been missing since March 20th of 2021. She's 16 years old. She is 5'5" tall. She weighs 100 pounds. She has black hair and brown eyes. She had been talking to her ex-boyfriend that lives in Hiawatha for about an hour. It's unknown if she left to go see him. She was last known to be wearing all black. She also had a black book bag that had additional clothes in it. She was also wearing a white hat with the Michael Jordan logo on it. If you have any information regarding Alexis's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Nemaha County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 785-336-2311. That's 785-336-2311, or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And I am in the process of working on trying to get some other photos of her to add to that flyer to help us out a little bit. So hopefully we can do that. And Alexis, if you by chance are watching this or you see this, give somebody a call, let them know where you are so they can come and get you and get you back home where you need to be.
Is that Oneida?
I don't know if it's Oneida or Oneida. I'm not sure which it is. It may be Oneida.
I'm not sure.
If I said it wrong, I apologize.
That's one of those towns I've never heard of.
I'm not real sure about it either. It must be over in
I wonder if it's like real small.
Somewhere. It might be. I've got a question in here I want to address. Has there been any more on Randy Leach? Not that I have heard, aside from his father passing away. Which my condolences and sympathies go out to the Leach family on his passing as well.
They did pull a car from that body of water, but it ended up not being Randy's car.
Okay.
Remember, you showed me that video.
Oh, yeah. And then there's Deanna Jones, trustee, saying, Oneida or Onida. Onida or Nida? I'm not sure. I don't.
We're not super smart here.
Yeah, I don't want to like offend anybody in that town by saying it wrong.
Yeah, I know.
But
some towns, man, they have a spelling and you want to say it right because it's like probably really bad on the ears if you're living there and somebody says your town name wrong. They're just like, whoa, that's not
right.
I did pull Colton's flyer too. Somebody had asked about him.
Yeah. Yep. Here's another one I do want to get into more later. I have him right down for the next show, but yeah, we do need to cover him again. I mean,
I'm guessing that age progression folder was from back when 2018. I'm guessing, or
probably right around that area. Yeah. Yep.
And this is one of the ones that this lady or this person has like a
exactly, Kelsey, exactly like Selena. Everybody wants to say Selena instead of Selena. And of course, like I was saying last week with down in Oklahoma, they do call it Selena instead of Selena. So,
oh, okay. This Colton's one of the kids that was that one. There's somebody out there that has like theory involving like how all these people kind of knew each other on social media. Colton's one is in that mix, right?
Yeah.
Were like several of those people in that collective all from the Russell area, or was that like just a more expanded area than Russell?
It's more expanded. I mean, it's all about the western part of the state, including Salina.
Oh, so it's like a big deal. Okay.
Yeah.
You hate seeing a flyer that says missing since 2008,
Yeah.
Anytime you see an age progression photo, you're like, okay, this is bad. Like, this has been a while since this person's been here.
Yeah. And I do want to get Ashley Duft on so we can get an update on Megan's case too.
Right.
Because I would like to hear what she's got going on with Megan's case.
Yeah. I have a kid picking his nose behind me. Oh, I think he ate it. Okay, well, this show just got interesting. He's 5 tomorrow. Tomorrow's his birthday. Hey, kid. Hey, quit picking your nose and eating it. People are watching you. He said, okay.
God.
Sorry, Rick. I try to be professional on this show.
Yeah,
I try my best. I'm babysitting and doing the show. Let's go ahead and go on to this is an older case. This is Flyer's been around for a while. Tell us about Christina.
Yeah, Christina Maxine Whittaker went missing from Hannibal, Missouri on November 13th, 2009. She was 21 when she went missing. She would now be 32. She is 5'5" to 5'6" tall. She weighs between 120 to 130 pounds. She has red hair and brown eyes. She went with friends to the Rookie Sports Bar in the 600 block of Broadway. She was asked to leave after she became drunk and began harassing other bar patrons. She had asked several different people for a ride, and she became upset when no one would give her a ride, and she left on foot alone. At about 11:45 p.m., her cell phone was found lying on the ground on South 7th Street, several blocks away. Christina's mother believes her mental illness may have played a role in her disappearance. She described her daughter as childlike and naive and said the psychiatric medication she took made her susceptible to manipulation. She was diagnosed and taking medication for bipolar disorder. There have been reported sightings of her in Peoria, Illinois, in that area since her disappearance. Her mom does visit that area periodically to hand out flyers and look for Christina in that area. She had a warrant out for arrest. She had been arrested for driving on a revoked license before her disappearance, and she missed a court date on December 18th, 2009. Her family doesn't believe she left of her own accord, as she has no history of such behavior, and she does have a baby daughter also as well. If you have any information regarding Christina's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Hannibal, Missouri Police Department at 573-221-0987. And see if we can generate some information and some tips on her disappearance, see if we can't help get her brought home.
Yeah, man, that's a long time. Wow. I always like to hear that there's sightings of them, like multiple sightings somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a good chance. And honestly, there's a good chance that if she was easily manipulated, there's a good chance that somebody just picked her up, and that's just that's what happened.
Yeah.
Though, but obviously being that long ago, this has been quite a long time ago. You know, it really makes you wonder. But obviously, they've never seen any side of her around Hannibal. Still, you know, it's like there's no, you know, there's no evidence she's in Hannibal, alive or you know, deceased. So like,
no.
Was there any reason why Peoria was like somebody just like having? I'm just guessing. I'm just wondering how somebody knew this girl when they saw this girl in Illinois that was her and she was missing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the significance of Peoria would be, but hopefully she was seen there. I mean, that at least gives some hope that she may still be alive.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. If you're getting sightings and stuff, that's always a good sign. Well, hopefully we can help her mom locate her. You know, that's a reunion, long time awaited. You know, that's a long time.
Oh yeah, and like I said, she's got a daughter at home that's, I'm sure, wondering, you know, where she's at, where she disappeared to.
Yeah.
So
it's always terrible when you see them old dates like that, man.
Yeah.
We covered most of the cases we cover are pretty new, but they're out there, you know, as far as these cases. You know, you look through the KMU log, like your old photos folders, you know, it's like you have entire folders that are dedicated to cold cases, and those folders are like from like 2010 or like 12, you know. It's like those folders are cold cases, you know. You haven't updated those things, so it's like that's how sad is like you have a folder that's really old and it's full of old cases, you know. Like this has been an ongoing problem in this state, you know, of like a lot of people missing, you know, unaccounted for, you know. Like this is
right.
It's important to cover the old cases because, you know, there's times where a lot of times, you know, that's the sad part, Ricky. Like think of all the cases we cover every week. Think of how many cases we're not covering, you know?
Yeah, I know.
We just don't know about, you know?
Right. Yeah, I like to think we're getting a handle on a lot of them, but I know there, like you say, there's a lot out there that we still haven't heard about, and that's why I keep asking people, you know, share this page, let people know we're out there, let them know that we can help them with getting flyers made and posted, and you know, that they can print and post where they live at, you know.
Yeah,
you know, we'll do our best to help.
Yeah, these cases just I never knew Kansas was so big, you know, learning all these towns and stuff. Why don't you tell us about Ira?
All right, this is one that was actually brought to my attention last week. Gotta find this flyer down here. There it is. Ira Leo Briscoe went missing from Lanton, Missouri on December 17, 2020. He is 25 years old. He's 5'8" tall, weighs 160 pounds. He has brown hair and blue eyes. The day before he went missing, two people exchanged gunfire inside a house in nearby, well, I don't know if I can say this one right, Koshkonong. I hope I said that right. Both of them know Ira, which gave investigators reason to possibly think there could be a connection. It was determined that Ira is an associate of both individuals that were involved in that shooting. Investigators are working to determine if there could be a connection between what led up to the shooting and Ira's disappearance. If you have any information regarding Ira's disappearance, you know of his whereabouts, please call the Howell County, Missouri Sheriff's Office at 417-256-2544. And I've been messaging with his mom off and on the last couple of days, and she feels that there may have been a connection to that, and that he may not be with us anymore. And she's pleading for people to speak up and talk and you know, let them know what happened to him and where he may be so they can bring him home. So I encourage anybody, you know, with any information, no matter how small or minute you might think it might be, call the Howell County, Missouri Sheriff's Office and let them know what you know. They did think at one point they had a break in the case because they'd found his vehicle, which had been missing also, when it was found in a scrapyard. And at that point, they didn't know whether it still belonged to him or not. And I talked to his mom about that, and she told me it was stolen prior to his disappearance. So it doesn't sound like it was involved. So that turned out to be a dead end on that end of it. And I did read some articles and some more news reports on his case also. And apparently the house that he was living in at the time that he disappeared is now all boarded up. So I don't know why it was boarded up, but I saw a picture of it and it was definitely boarded up. So
I wonder if he had roommates or
I don't know.
Like, because it would, because whoever owns the house is the ones that was at least okay with it being boarded up.
Yeah.
So the day before he went missing, 2 people exchanged gunfire. You were saying near Koshikong, and they're thinking that they're thinking Ira might have been involved with that in some case, in some situation. Is that what's kind of going on?
Well, that's what they're trying to figure out, is whether he was or not. And
if he was, they're worried that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's
like I say, let's hopefully covering his case and talking about it and getting his flyer out there. We'll keep people talking and get people that haven't been talking to talk, so they can, hopefully find him and get him brought home. And I like what Tracy is saying down there. She's saying, keep saying his name. It's the only way to make others talk and to keep him in the media and social media. That I agree with that.
Yeah.
And Kelsey chimed in earlier on, when we were talking about all the missing cases and stuff, and that's why she wanted to start Kansas cold cases. And I know she's working to try to get that off the ground and going. So anything we can do to help her with that, we'll do.
Yeah. Anybody know anything about this case right here with Ira?
Yeah.
Just say something.
Yeah. Somebody's got to know something. So just speak up and say something. His mom is desperately trying to find him and get him brought home. So, give her that peace of mind and that closure she needs, and call and say something.
I don't think people realize just how cancerous a secret is.
Yeah.
I mean, I've talked to people that, have harbored a secret for 10 years and they're not feeling well. It's just, I've had a secret before, and I'm not that person, Ricky. I can't have secrets. I just feel guilty, but
yeah.
Hey
Shayna, thank you for joining us from Wichita tonight.
If you're out there and you know something and it's eating at you, that's never going to go away. That feeling of just eating, and you're never gonna be like, because I know where you're at. I know what you're feeling. You're like, oh, it'll go away someday. I'll get used to it. No, you won't. Guilt is guilt. If you know something that is detrimental to other people's happiness, you were never going to let that down. You were never going to be okay with knowing something that could help somebody's situation. So if you know something, you might as well just spit it out, basically, because you're going to really put yourself in pain over the longer you hold it in, the harder it's going to hurt, in my opinion.
Yeah. And that weight on your shoulder, your feeling's only going to get heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier the longer you hold it.
Yeah. Doing a lot of
there's Niecy right there. She says truth.
Truth.
Yeah. Definitely.
The truth shall set you free, right, Ricky?
Right. Yeah.
Speaking of cold cases, tell us about Jodie.
Yep, this is an older one too. So Jodie Lee Adkins. She's missing from Kansas City, Missouri. She's been missing since May 23rd, 1985. At the time she disappeared, she was 14. She would now be 50. She was 5 foot 1 inches tall, 90 pounds, blonde, brown hair, blue eyes. She was last seen at her boyfriend's house in the 700 block of Cambridge Street in Kansas City. She had an argument with her boyfriend and other friends on the day of her disappearance. She apparently wanted to accompany them to their destination, but they refused. Jodie walked to a nearby friend's residence and called her mother, asking for a ride home to the 6800 block of East Topping Street. Her mother did not have a car, and Jodie told her she would find another ride. She was last seen walking northbound on Winchester from 14th Street. Jodie was never heard from again. She did not take any money or extra clothing with her when she disappeared. She was enrolled in a juvenile probation program at the time she disappeared. She and a friend had a run-in with a security guard in 1984. Her caseworker was contacted by Jodie's mother after the disappearance. The caseworker filed 2 warrants for Jodie, listing her as an endangered juvenile who should be detained by authorities if she was spotted. Jodie's mother assumed that the warrants also meant juvenile authorities had filed a missing child report with law enforcement. They had not. Law enforcement never considered Jodie as a missing person until 1987, 2 years following her disappearance, because they had not been notified. As a result, Jodie's case was extremely delayed, and clues were minimal by the time the investigation had begun. In 1997, police dragged the Missouri River after 2 prison inmates claimed that they had information on the case. Their tip went nowhere, but it led the Kansas City Police Department to reclassify Jodie's case as a probable homicide. Her mother now lives in Arkansas, but visits Kansas City a few times a year to search for her daughter. Jodie's case remains unsolved. If you have any information regarding Jodie's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department at 816-234-5140 or 816-234-5111. And see if we can't help get her located, get her mom some answers as to what happened to her, where she's at, where she might be, and get her back home.
Yeah.
It's like she just vanished off the face of the earth, It's just crazy.
Well, I think there's a lot to this where she was like, it's like, the whole like fifth wheel thing. Like, it sounds like she wanted to go with some people and they were like, they didn't want her. Like, almost like she was like a fifth wheel. Yeah. I want to know why she wanted to go so bad. Because you'd think it was because like, oh, I just don't want to, I don't want, it's like fear of missing out. I just want to have fun like everybody. Or maybe she was keeping an eye on something. You wonder why she was so, you like think about it, Ricky. If you were going to go somewhere and people were like, I don't want you to go, Ricky. Most people would just be like, okay, whatever. She's upset by it. So obviously she has a motive to be, with these people. And I think it's odd that they were adamant with her not being with them. I don't know. I feel like there's just, I don't know, man. I just don't think people just vanish and disappear. I think a lot of it's pretty plain and simple if you just look at, who they were associating with, what was going on in their life and stuff. There's no see a 14-year-old just vanishing. There has to be something.
And there is a little bit more information that I can give you guys on this too. And let me pull it up here real quick. Exactly which article it is I want. I just have to right there. It was an article that came out on KSHB October of 2020. And in this article, it talks about, let's see here. Hang on just a second. I'm trying to find it here. Jodie's mom discovered that juvenile probation officer had received a letter from someone claiming to be Jodie for about 4 years after she disappeared. The letter stated that Jodie's all right, and maybe someday she'll say why she left. The letter was compared to a previous letter that Jodie had sent to her probation officer, but Stratton isn't sure it's the same handwriting. And I've got pictures of both letters, and the handwriting really is not, to me, a match. One letter has more of a right-handed slant, where the other letter has more of a left-handed slant. So. And then in 1993, Jodie's mom started receiving threatening phone calls at home, which lasted for 2 years. The callers would often demand money in exchange for Jodie. Stratton recorded the calls and sent them to the police. Investigators traced the calls back to a payphone in the Kansas City area, but nobody was ever identified as the caller. And there's a transcript of the call in this article as well. And the transcript, the caller said, "If we don't get the money, your daughter will be sent to you in pieces."
Oh my gosh.
Stratton could never get any straight answers out of the callers, nor could she prove that they had anything to do with Jodie's disappearance. And then here's more information on the inmates. In 1997, the 2 prison inmates claimed that they had information about the case, prompting the police to drag the Missouri River. They didn't find anything. Police still consider her a missing person, but they believe something might have happened to jeopardize her safety. So, there again. And that's just some more additional information on that. And there is a picture of the transcript of that phone call in that article as well. And what I will do here is I will jump over here and I will post this in the comments here, and you guys can take a look.
You can post pictures in the comments. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you can post a link. Okay.
Yeah, and post the link, and then you guys can pull that up and you can see the pictures of the letters and look at them and kind of see where I'm talking about with the right-handed slant, left-handed slant, and then the transcript of the phone call and stuff like that. It's hard to say whether the phone call was legit or not. So many times with missing persons, you see things where people are just trying to scam money out of the families of the missing. They say, I'll give us X amount of money. We'll tell you where they are. or we'll tell you where you can pick them up at, or we'll bring them to you or whatever. They do that crap because they know that these families are under enough stress and strain having a missing loved one, and they take advantage of that by saying, hey, we know where they are, give us X amount of money. And some of these families are so distraught and so upset and want to know what happened to their loved one, they're going to say, sure, I'll give it to you, just tell me where they are. So they try to take advantage of that, and it's just wrong. It's just wrong.
You know who really bums me out?
What's that?
When somebody goes missing, psychics that show up and they're like, for $500, I'll tell you where your daughter is. It's just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? And every time I've ever talked to a family of a missing person, they always have a story about the drones of psychics that show up. And they're like, I can tell you where your kid is for this price. I mean, that's just disgusting.
Right.
But you're right. And then there's people that just, mess with people.
Yeah. And that's why I do what I do. When I have a family member, when I make a flyer and they will ask me, can you put my phone number on there? Can you put my cell number on there? And I politely tell them that I don't do that because I try to protect them from just those kind of scenarios, because I don't want to see a family member get taken advantage of. So that's why I decline to put family phone numbers on there, because I try to do my part to protect them. How can people do this to others in all cases, knowing that their fathers, mothers, sons, daughters, and they have families that are innocent and hurting? Because, I agree with you, Kelly. I ask myself that same question: is how can people do that stuff? And apparently, they have no heart, no conscience, or anything like that, or they wouldn't do it. It'd be my best guess is they just,
Have you ever talked to family?
What do you mean?
Of Jodie, family of Jodie.
I've talked to her mom a couple times. Yeah.
Is she still around?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep, she sure is.
We should talk to her on here sometime. It's...
Matter of fact, I messaged her earlier today, and I haven't gotten a response just quite yet, but I did message her earlier today. I wanted to let her know about the new flyer and let her know that we were going to cover her on the show tonight. So, but I imagine she's
Anna
pretty
says
busy.
Handwriting a signature doesn't look like. And the thing about it, man, is I dare whoever sent that. I dare him to send something now. That would get traced back so quick.
Yeah,
that's what people. That's what's crazy. I watch a lot of true crime shows, Ricky, and the one that I've been stuck on recently it's called The FBI Files, and it's on YouTube. And all of the guy that comes on the beginning, he's like, "Hi, you're watching the." It's like filmed in like 1991, so like every case on there is pre all of the new stuff that we can do with DNA testing. So it's like looking at how police had to solve cases before all this. Dude, that was a tough gig, man. It's like, and then you see this, if Jodie Lee Adkins, if this would have happened in 2021, we have technology to, Yeah,
I just sent you the images of those two letters in Messenger. You want to pop those up?
See. Yeah, those are not the same.
No, definitely not.
Those are not the same at all.
No. So the one of them has a little bit of a left-handed slant to it, where the other one has a right-handed slant.
Yeah, they're not the same at all. Let me see if I can.
Yeah. And my understanding is they've compared them to a known sample of her handwriting too. So. One of them actually, I guess, was believed to actually be from her, but yeah, she is still missing Lily Blue.
So this is one of them. This is
one of those is actually believed to be her actual handwriting. I'm trying to remember which one it said it was.
Okay, I think this one's the one that's. Let me see.
I'm looking at that.
I think this is the fake, because this one's a letter to the mom, and this is a letter.
Yeah, that's the one that was sent to the
Dear
probation
Pat
officer, and then
so the Dear Pat is actually her handwriting.
Well, they both say Jodie Lee Adkins letter. That doesn't help me out.
Well, one of them is. No, the one that says, "Mom, I am writing to let you know I am all right." That one's got to be.
That would have to be her.
So this is no. The one that's her is the one where she's right here, dear Pat. Just thought I would. This is her actual handwriting. This is somebody writing to her mother, claiming to be her, saying she's all right.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you look, like two completely different handwriting styles.
Yeah.
You know, different completely.
Yeah, it's hard to read them too.
It says, "I'm writing you to let you know I am all right. I know it's going to be what? Years, not a day goes by that I don't think of you, and I really miss all you and I had. Really sorry that I left. Like, but after what? Yeah, I don't. But I mean, I can't read it. You know, obviously, it's just too small, and it's not great. But yeah, obviously, two separate handwritings. I'm not an expert, Ricky, but no.
Well, and her mom's name's Karen, not Pat. So
yeah, I think the Pat is for. Didn't you say this was a letter to her probation officer or some officer or something?
Yeah.
Okay, so that must be the name of her. So yeah, not the same at all.
No.
And I'm not an expert at all.
No, but you can tell. I mean, especially the Jodie signature. The one Jodie has more of a left-handed slant to it. One has a right-handed. So yeah. Yeah. Unless she was making a big attempt at trying to disguise her handwriting, which some people do, but I don't know that that's the case.
I don't know, man. I'm not a scientist, but that didn't look anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd think, Alicia. I mean, I don't think they would send me and Ricky in the room to find out, but I don't know. I'm not an expert, but to me, it looks like two separate people. And I don't know. It's like the whole. I'm writing you to. I was reading. It's hard to read. I'm not going to read on there because that would be embarrassing because I'm messing all the words up. But like, essentially, what the letter was saying, from what I read, is like, "Hey, Mom, sorry I left. Everything's cool, but I'm never coming back. Bye." I mean, that doesn't sound like a realistic letter to me.
Right.
Like, it's just, I don't know. Hi, I'm alive. I'm never coming back. Sorry. Bye. It just doesn't make it. And like, why the secrecy? Why, now that you're 50 years old, why the secrecy? Why can't you tell your mom? I think that was, in my opinion, I think somebody sent that either just to mess with the family or somebody was trying to steep their conscience. They felt bad about, leaving that family with not knowing what was going on. So they're like, oh, I'll just send them a letter saying that she's alive still. And that'll make them feel better, which it didn't, because that's just weird. So yeah, in my opinion, whoever sent it was torturing the family, whether they knew it or not.
Yeah.
14-year-old girl went missing 35 years ago, but tonight,
Sorry.
Mom is still searching for her.
The mother of Jodie Lee Adkins returned.
I'm watching this video on this article because he was saying this was done in October 2020, and it was saying. Let's see if they put it in the print part. It's talking about the tip line and getting tips and talking about. Yeah, here we go. It says, while Crime Stoppers usually takes tips on homicides, they told 41 Action News, which is KSHB, they received only 2 tips on Jodie's cases. The most recent was in 2017.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. 2 tips in all these years to the Crime Stoppers line. And one was in 2017. Wow. That is just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah, Roxanne brought up a good point. She was on probation, that she might have been printed. That's true. That's true. And hopefully we can get them, by covering our case tonight, we can get some tips generated, So if anybody has anything, and the Crime Stopper number is the 816. I think it's at the bottom of this article here. I'm trying to find it here. Yeah, I'll find it real quick here. Sorry, I'm looking off to the side here. I have my laptop up and running again.
Ricky's got two computers, folks. He is fancy. On the signature, one Y is closed and from a different from the other. Seems like her mom would have papers to compare writing. Yeah. I don't think it's her writing.
I don't either.
It looks way different. And honestly, it's not even the writing that really sells me on it not being from her. It just sounds like the most cliche, fake letter I've ever. Hey, Mom, it's me. Sorry I left. Never coming back. You're never going to hear from me again. But don't worry. Everything's cool. Sorry. What?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't make sense. Unless she was being like forced to write that. I just don't see anybody writing that,
Right.
Why the secrecy? Like, what is it like? Yeah. Like a secret? It's like, I don't know. I just don't get it. To me, it's just either somebody torturing the family or somebody that's involved and they're trying to make themselves feel better by giving or they're just torturing the family for more pleasure. I don't know.
Man, if you want to report any information on Jodie's case anonymously, call Crime Stoppers 816-474-8477. And you don't have to give your name. But definitely, if you have any information, get it called in. I mean, it's been, since 1985.
Yeah.
It's time to get some closure going on this case and get this thing solved.
Tell us a little bit about Kimberly Rose.
Okay. Kimberly Rose Abercrombie went missing from Brooksville, Kentucky on June 13, 2013. She was 23 when she went missing. She would now be 31. She's 5 foot 6 inches tall, weighs 110 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. She left home stating she would return later and has not been seen or heard from since. Her car was recovered later the same day at the park and pool at Johnsonville along Kentucky 9 and was searched by Kentucky State Patrol. She was 23 when she went missing. She'll now be 31. She's 5 foot 6, weighs 110 pounds. She has brown hair that was cut in a pixie cut and brown eyes. She has several tattoos. She has a full back tattoo of a fairy, Chinese lettering on the left side of her abdomen, the name Zane Austen on her left foot, a butterfly on her left ankle, and a teal-colored cervical cancer ribbon on her left side. If you have any information regarding Kimberly's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Kentucky State Patrol or Kentucky State Police Dry Ridge Post. Sorry about that. At 859-428-1212 and see if we can't help get her found and get her brought home also. And she definitely needs to be brought home. It's been quite some time for her as well.
Yeah, all of our cases tonight have been from a while ago.
Yeah. I guess you can almost call this one the cold case show, just about.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Nisi's saying most likely en route to Cincinnati. And she's also saying thank you so much for sharing again, and you are very welcome. We kind of breezed through it kind of quick last week, and I wanted to kind of go through it again.
Right.
Kind of take a little bit more time with it this time, but yeah. Hopefully we can get some information generated on her case because it has been a while. It's been almost 8 years, so it's time to get her found and brought home.
For sure, man. It's no good.
And then Renee brought up an interesting point. We were talking about Jodie, maybe someone with a guilty conscience, and what we were talking about, about weighing heavy on the shoulders and stuff like that, and the burden of carrying a secret around for so long. So hopefully we can get somebody to talk, on all these cases.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that, Nisi.
No problem at all. Tell us about Kylan. Didn't she tell us about him last week also?
Yeah, and I wanted to kind of touch on him again a little bit too, since we kind of went through his kind of fast last time too. Kylan Steuber went missing from Columbia, Missouri. I don't know if it's Stubler or Stubler. I'm not sure which, but anyway, missing from Columbia, Missouri since April 22nd, 2011. He was 17 when he went missing. He would now be 27. He was 17 when he went missing. He's 5'10" tall to 6 foot tall, weighs 150 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. He went missing about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, leaving his home with a person unfamiliar to the family. A friend later came forward to say that Kylan stayed at his house Thursday evening, but left early Friday morning. Friends and family have not heard from Kylan since then. He was last seen wearing a gray sweatshirt, jeans, and Jordan tennis shoes. He may have traveled to St. Louis, Missouri. The family of Kylan Steuber is offering a $10,000 reward for any information that leads to a safe return or information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person responsible for Kylan's disappearance. If you have any information regarding Kylan's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Columbia, Missouri Police Department at 573-442-6131 or Columbia, Missouri Crime Stoppers at 573-875-8477. And again, this has been, 10 years old. It's time to get him found and back to where he needs to be. And again, if you know something, say something. And he's saying foul play suspected, but nobody will talk. Well, it's time for him to start talking.
Exactly.
Time, in all these cases, time for people to start speaking up and saying what they know.
I don't know how people live with themselves, man.
I couldn't
either, man. Some families sitting there beating themselves over the head, being like, what happened to my kid, my brother, my nephew? And it's just like, you're just sitting at work, just doing nothing. And you're like, man, I could just make one anonymous phone call right now and flip the whole script and give these people some closure. And that's all it takes. One anonymous phone call.
Yeah.
Don't see how people don't do it.
Well, I'm kind of going through the comments here and not seeing somebody I thought I would see tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I figured we would see Irene tonight. She must be busy or something. But we will get into Alex's case again here in a little bit.
This one's kind of an interesting case. We don't actually have a name for anybody on this one, but Ricky's going to tell you about this male homicide victim. That's all we know about him, a male homicide victim.
Yeah, Sedgwick County Sheriff's Department is trying to identify this gentleman. On October 29th, 1994, a man was found bound and buried in a shallow grave near 55th Street West and 47th Street South in Sedgwick County. When discovered, the body was in an advanced stage of decomposition. The victim appeared to be a white male, 20 to 30 years old, with a medium build. He was 5'8" to 6 foot tall, with auburn to sandy-colored hair. Experts estimated the murder occurred between June and October of 1994. It is believed the man was not killed where his body was found. The victim's identity is completely unknown to investigators, and detectives believe identifying the man could be the key to solving the crime. It is highly likely someone had talked about the crime over the years. Detectives want to hear from anyone with any information, no matter how insignificant it may seem. If you have any information on this case, you may contact Detective Guthrie at 316-660-5308 or at michael.guthrie@sedgwick.gov, or you may submit your tip through Crime Stoppers of Wichita, Sedgwick County at 316-267-2111, or submit tips at Wichita, Sedgwick County CrimeStoppers.com and see if we can't help identify this gentleman. And I know somebody had brought up Donald Goodman as a possibility, and I saw Sedgwick County had commented that they had confirmed that it was not Donald Goodman. So we do know that it's not him. So, but if you have any other ideas it may be or anything like that, get a hold of the Sedgwick County Sheriff's Office or the Crime Stoppers number there and call them, let them know who you think it might be so they can look into it. I could see why they thought maybe Donald Goodman, because that sketch right there does resemble him pretty strongly, but they did rule him out. So,
wow,
yeah,
that's crazy, man. Like, you find a body and now we don't even know who it is.
Yeah, found in a shallow grave, bound,
and that happens often. Like there's a lot of John Does out there.
Yeah, that's crazy. I wonder if the clothing he was. I don't think it said anything about any kind of clothing he might have been wearing. No, it doesn't. I wonder if there was any clothing on the body or with the body that they could have possibly, if it wasn't in too bad a shape, shown pictures of. Maybe somebody might have remembered a shirt or something. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Somebody knows. That's the craziest thing. And that one probably not a lot of people know.
Yeah.
I mean, that close of a secret, you don't even know who it is.
Yeah.
And it's more, I mean, if you know, because think about, if you find a body, you're in Sedgwick County, you can pretty much go through, like, usually when somebody goes missing, somebody reports it,
Right.
like, so my guess is if they don't have anybody locally that they can be like, this is them, maybe it could have been crime related and they brought him there to do that. So it, when he was found, it had nothing to do with where he was from. Because I don't know, bound and buried to me kind of sounds crime related. I don't know if he was involved with crime, but I think whoever did that to him was definitely involved with crime. That seems like a hit, like almost like just getting rid of somebody.
Yeah.
So there's no talent, like.
I was just sent some more photos of Alexis Jones that I can add to her flyer. I was just checking my email. I've got 3 of them in there that I can use on her flyer. Some look maybe possibly slightly filtered, but I can work with them. I think it'll be better than the black and white one that is on there. I'm trying to get them saved. Let's see. I'll get that flyer reissued when I get these. I'm gonna do some cropping and stuff on them, obviously, but yeah, awesome. I'm glad I got those. Let me get them saved, and I'll shoot them over to you, and you can at least show the pictures until I can get them on the flyer at least. So I want to get some better pictures of her out there circulating. And thank you to Denise for sending those to me. I greatly, greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, Shane says probably even from another state. I mean, I'm guessing, like.
That could possibly be. I mean, there have been cases in the past where they have been taken from one state, ditched in another state. So that's a possibility.
I mean, it could even be another county,
Yeah, another town, another county.
Because that's how how policing works. Wherever they find that body, that's who investigates it.
Yeah,
and if it has nothing to do with this county it was the crime happened in, you got a long ways before they catch up to you.
Yeah, and there has been a vast improvement in information sharing between departments, because in the past there was always an issue with, not necessarily wanting to share what they knew because they wanted to be the one.
It was their case,
Yeah, they wanted to be the one to solve that case. They didn't want anybody else to. So, but hopefully we can get some information out there. Somebody may see the drawing and say, "Hey, that looks like this person or that person." And
yeah, true.
Hopefully. There we go. I'm working on those pictures real quick here. I had to turn one because it was totally sideways.
Oh, you're sending them to me?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to.
Okay, cool.
Had to turn one because it was turned completely sideways. So.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Niecy says Echo Lloyd is missing under disturbing circumstances.
Who?
Echo Lloyd. Her daughter has become a strong advocate for her mom in Missouri.
Oh, okay. I remember that name now. I remember that name. Yeah. I have a flyer up for her.
Missouri mom missing since Mother's Day. Suspected foul play.
Yeah, I have a flyer up for her. It's been a while since I've
been a while.
Shared it. It's been a while since it's been shared. Yeah. Okay, and there's those pictures of Nicole. Or Alexis Nicole. Excuse me, Alexis Nicole. And I may have to switch that to my bigger template. And then we'll see.
And have we covered her case already?
We covered it tonight, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I'm going to add these pictures. Because I definitely want to do that.
For sure, man. Looks like we have one more case.
Yeah.
We
can cover. Actually, we can cover. Actually, two more because we'll cover Alexis again too.
Hold on. All right. So we can do those two.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and cover the next one.
Okay, we'll do Nicole Nelson.
And that's one I just did today. She's missing from Kansas City, Missouri. Been missing since March 26th of this year. She's 33, 5'7", 200 pounds. She has black hair and brown eyes. She was last seen near 62nd Street and College Avenue in Kansas City about 10:30 this morning. She has a traumatic brain injury and the functionality of a 13-year-old. She was last known to be wearing a green puffy jacket, pink silk skirt, and black floral skirt. If you have any information regarding Nicole's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call 911 immediately or call the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department's Missing Persons Section at 816-234-5136 or 816-234-5111. And I just looked on their Kansas City, Missouri Police Department's post on her just prior to covering this, and she is still missing. So let's get some information out there, get it shared around Kansas City, and see if we can't get her found.
All right.
I mean, especially being that she does have that brain injury and functions at the level of a 13-year-old. So let's get her found and back to a safe place.
You get her home for sure.
Yeah.
If anybody in the Kansas City area has seen her, it's only been a couple days.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't want her getting in the hands of, the wrong people. With her having the capacity of a 13-year-old, that's dangerous. People could take advantage of her.
Yeah.
So if anybody sees her, let's definitely get her found and brought home immediately.
Definitely.
And like Ricky said, call 911 immediately.
Yeah, definitely. Get her found and back to where she needs to be. It's a scary situation there.
Yeah, I don't like that at all, man. And we have that, pretty often. Somebody who has mental issues or they don't. Maybe their age does not match their mental capacity, and they're missing. It's always extra scary. You're like, man, hopefully somebody doesn't take advantage of them.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's go ahead and cover Alexander, man. We're running out of time here. Okay. Let's go ahead and get Alexander up here.
All right. Alexander Perez. We would cover him just about every week, and we told Irene we would do that until he's found. He's missing from Ulysses, Kansas, missing since December 1st of 2020. He's 35 years old. He's 5'11", weighs 235 pounds. Has black hair, but keeps it shaved pretty much bald, and has brown eyes. He contacted a family member via telephone on December 1st and advised that he'd be coming over to wash some laundry. He never arrived at the family member's home in Ulysses, and he's not been heard from or seen by family members since then. He had been staying with family and friends prior to his disappearance. It's believed that he may still be in the local Ulysses area, or he may be in the Garden City, Kansas, or surrounding area. He has a tattoo of a bumblebee on his face underneath his left eye. He also has Perez tattooed on one of his arms, and he has I'm not sure that tattoo going under his throat there is along his collarbone, but he has that tattoo as well. If you have any information regarding Alexander's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Grant County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 620-356-3500 or the Ulysses, Kansas Police Department at 620-356-4600 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get him found and back home where he needs to be. Because he definitely needs to be found. Definitely.
For sure.
Yeah.
Everybody in that area, keep an eye out for sure.
Yep.
It's been a while. Each week goes by, we cover this case.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's no good.
I'm not familiar with that Miami-Dade case today, Nisi. I haven't heard about that one. Have you heard any information in regards to a Taurus station wagon in the last few months? I have not, Sarah. That's another one I have not heard about. So if you want to send me some information on both the Miami-Dade case and what's going on with that Taurus station wagon, you can private message anything you have on that to me. Kansas Missing, and I'll look at it.
For sure. We'll have it ready for next week.
Yeah.
Well,
and maybe I don't have a flyer made for Echo. I thought I did, but maybe I don't, because I am not finding one. I know it had been brought to my attention. I thought I had made one for her, though. I could have swore I did.
If you didn't, we'll have one for next week for sure.
Yeah, we will for sure. Like I said, I make so many I can't keep track of them all, but I know somebody had brought her to my attention before, and I at least was going to, but I thought I had saved pictures and everything and stuff like that, but I am not finding him. I'm even looking on my laptop since I got my laptop back, and I'm not even finding anything there. So.
All right. Well, we'll get it figured out for next week, folks. We want to thank everybody for stopping by tonight.
Yeah, thank you for joining us all and hanging out with us tonight. And another good show. Again, if you have any information on any of these cases, call the numbers on the flyers and definitely give them the information that you know. Sure. Definitely. But with that being said, like Derek said, thank you everybody for joining us and hanging out with us for the last hour for our 50th show. 50th show. Cannot believe it. But everybody have a good night. Stay safe. God bless. We will see you Thursday, April. Let me look at my calendar here. Let's see. Thursday, April 8th.
April 8th.
Yep, a week after my birthday.
It'll be a little bit. It's that long stretch before we're back. But yeah, good show, man. Good show.
Yeah. And thank you guys for the congratulations. And we will see you Thursday, April 8th. You guys have a good night. Stay safe. God bless. We'll catch you later.
Well, I don't think it, I thought it, that's different. I said what I said and I meant it, or lamented. Words given weight without thought, and a person, the way that I talk and the way that I ought to be able to pause and to say that the fault can be placed on my arm, to display full assault, to disgrace in this arm. Pray for the day they could wait for the calm. You can't control the storm, only weather it, whether it's 5 weeks and 5 days of rain sideways, or scorched earth, search for death, or water left with all the thorns, with the petals gone, settle on the breath of autumn. If the crown fits, wear it, the crown fits. If the crown fits,